Hi, I'm Mike Gubby. We're at my house today and I'm going to show you exactly how to take the motorised curtain track and shear curtain that are in these two bags out of the bags and onto this wall behind me. So following with our step-by-step process, this is step number one. If your track, your total track width is greater than 3.6 metres, like the track that I'm about to do is, then the motorised curtain track will be supplied split and it'll come with a track joiner. So if it is less than 3.6 metres, then you can ignore this and just go to the next section. But if it is, then I have to show you how to join the track. So let's get straight into that. So what I'm about to do now is join the track, and I'm going to use this track joiner, but it's really important that you get it in the right orientation. So as you can see, this master carrier here is facing the front. So that's actually the front of the track, and this is the back of the track. And you can see that I want my little Allen keys, my little grub screws here that is supplied with this screwdriver to also be facing the back. So what I'm going to do is put that under All right, so the next step is that I have to install this master carrier, which is this guy here, onto those two pieces just there. So when I do install it, it's going to go in that direction. So the underlap is again facing forward because this is the front of the track and this is the back of the track. So there's one thing that I've got to do prior, and that is put this little runner string and connect it onto the master carrier. And all I do is I push that in just like that there, so you can see that that's connected. Okay. Now, when I install the track, prior to me locking it off, it's really important that I've got these nylon runners facing that way, as you can see. And when I do install them, they simply push down onto the track just like that. But I have to lock them off, and that's where we supply this spanner for you. So it's a 90-degree turn, and we'll come in from that side there and we'll lock it off, and then we come in from this side here and then we lock that off. So now our entire track is reassembled and we're having that perfect smooth function. So our next steps, now that we've got our track installed, is to install these little hooks on the return pulley. Now if it's a center open, there's going to be two of these return pulleys at either end of the track, and you can see that these hooks go in here, there and there. And this is where our fabric is going to wrap around the motor or wrap around the return end. Now if it's just a one-way draw, then you're only going to have one of these pulleys, so not one on the other side. So we're going to start here, here and there with the hooks. And when we do, you'll notice the hook is on an angle, so the angle actually faces away like that. So now our track's installed and our little clips are fitted up into the track. I've got this black motorised curtain track just to show you a close-up view of how the Versa motor connects into place. Now this does not have the battery module fitted yet, and we don't want to do that. But while we've got it here, this label faces inwards. So in the instance of the motorised curtain track that I've got behind me, the motor is on that side there, so this label is facing inward. Now that top button there, there's two of them, but the top button there is our P1 button. So that's the program button that we're going to push, and I'll explain that in a few moments. Okay, now if I go to the top of the motor here, you can see these two. This is the drive just there that spins around, and see these two clips and these two dots at the back. So the two dots line up there. And with this lever here, you can see if I push it that way, that's the open position for me to install, and then I release, and that is what locks it onto the actual curtain track. So let's go ahead and do that now. If I put our shaft in to release, I push the lever to the side and then simply pull out again. So now I've shown you exactly how the motor connects and what orientation it sits in. Let's go and fit this motor up to our curtain track. Because this is a center open curtain, the pieces of fabric you'll get will be two. Now, if I'm going to turn my back to you for a moment, but there'll be a right side piece of fabric and a left side piece of fabric. So it's really important that you look at the markings on the curtain to see the left and the right hand side, so you're putting the correct fabric onto the correct side. Now, when I start hooking up the fabric, I'm going to start from the back of the motor. I'm going to go to the end of the motor, and then I go to the front of the motor, and then I'll start my nice S-folds until I get to these carriers here in the middle where there are two hook spaces available for those, and you'll get to see me do that. So this is the Australian made fabric, this is the Whitsunday fabric, and this is the whitewash color. Let's go ahead and get it installed on the curtain track here. So now I've hung my curtain, and this is a center open curtain. You can see I've left it kind of half open because the next thing I want to do is connect my battery module, and this is my battery module here. Now it clips on with the same clip that the motor connected to the track, exactly the same way, and the writing is facing inward. So in this instance here, I'm going to fit it just like that. So it's very important that we actually install this battery module when the curtain is hung, because if that curtain moved like it did when I was putting the clips on, if that battery module was connected, the curtain track would just take off. And that can be a very dangerous situation. So the last thing we're going to do is fit our battery module, and that will mean that we'll start our programming sequence. So we're ready to do our programming now that our battery module's installed. I don't want to touch the curtain because if I do, it'll take off. So I've got my remote control. I'm going to put this on the Wi-Fi hub, but to start with, I always put it on a remote control first. So I've got my remote control on channel 1. Now, I've got to hit this P1 button for about 2 seconds and wait for the motor to jog, which I'll do now. And the motor just jogged and beeped. Now I'm going to hold my stop button, and the motor jogged and beeped. Now we're going to set our limits, but the curtain actually does that for you itself. So to check the direction is right, what you have to remember is that the up button, like a roller blind, is open, and the down button, like a roller blind, is closed. So we want to close the curtain. So I'm just going to hit the down button now, and you can see this curtain is going the right direction. So I'm just going to let it go and close. There you go. And now it's found that limit, let's hit the up button. And it's going into the open position, and it'll stop it by itself. I'm not touching anything. So it's now found its limits. So now if I push the down button, you'll see that it'll go into a nice soft close sequence. So you can see it's quick now. Soft close, and into that close sequence. Let's open it up again. So now I've got the curtain working on channel number 1. It was nice and simple to do. I'm going to add it now to the Automate app, and I'm going to do that with you right now. So we're in the shade screen, so we're going to add a shade to the R8 pulse. Next, it's a drape, and when you do it, you've got drapes that's center open, which is what we've got to do, there's drapes left-hand stack and drapes right-hand stack. So we're going to hit the center open, go next. It's our living room. Next, please ensure your hub and the device is paired on. Yep. Next, we're going to use the remote control. So we push the remote control. Next, step 1, select channel the shade is on, which is channel 1. Step 2, locate the P2 button, and that is on the underside here. So that's the P2 button just there. So it says locate and press the P2 button, observe the shade jog. Press the P2 button again, observe the shade jog, and then step 4, press next within 5 seconds. Okay, so we're on channel number 1. We've got to push the P2 button and the shade jogged. Push P2 button again, the shade jogged, and then hit next within 5 seconds. And you can see it's paired it. Now I've heard the beep. So we're actually connecting to the hub now. So it says success, so we hit the done. So now my living room curtain is right here. So I'm opening and closing that. So now I've added my shade. I've got my room scenes and timers, and I can create the automation around that. But if I just press and hold that living room button there, I can see by the animation, because there's two-way communication, that the drape is closed. I can see that it's online. I can see the signal strength is excellent and the battery is excellent. So I've got close, stop, open here. But the thing I like is that I can just get my finger and drag it across there. And that's giving me live animation to tell me that that curtain behind is now opening. So the Wi-Fi app and the hub with this new design is fantastic as far as animation, seeing exactly what you've got there, and giving you full control of swipe of a finger, being able to open and close the blinds or the roller blinds. It's all the same for wherever you are in the world, and the two-way communication is providing that feedback down there. So you saw how easy that was to do. It's really important that you just follow that step-by-step method that I outlined, and you'll come out with an awesome result with motorization, adding the curtain or the roller blind onto your hub, and then creating automation with a spectacular result. Let's swipe our finger and let's get it to open up. Thanks for watching.